Hello students, welcome to my channel. In this video, we would be studying about two very important functions in Python programming language, and they are the input function and the print function. The input function is used for taking input from the user, and the print function is used for displaying output to the user. Okay, so starting with the input function first, if you have to take any input from the user, you use the input function. Okay, so you write the keyword input and you put two round brackets around it. Okay, now what are the functionality or what are the other parameters of this input function? So whenever you have to take any kind of input, you have from the user, you have to ask the user for a particular kind of input that is required in your program or any information that you need, then you use this particular input function, and this input function provides a cursor on the screen. Okay, so whenever you write an input function in your program, at that particular point when you execute that program, a particular cursor would blink on the screen, and it means that the input function is waiting for the user to provide some input, and unless and until the user enters some input or it presses the enter key on the keyboard, this particular cursor will continue to be displayed on the screen. Okay, so this particular input function, it prompts or it asks the user to enter some kind of data, and whatever data the user inputs, all that data is converted in the form of a string and stored in a variable by the input function. So this point is very important, that no matter what type of data the user enters, whether it is a string, whether it is a number, whether it is alphanumeric, whatever the input that the user enters from the keyboard, that input will be converted in the form of a string, and that string will then be stored in a particular variable that is present on the left hand side. So generally when we write the input function, we write, suppose var equal to input, and here you can directly write the round brackets, or here you can specify a particular statement. I'll tell you about that prompt statement that can be specified, but that's an optional argument. So whenever the input function takes the user input, it will store the user input in the form of a string. That means the data type of the input will be converted, will be string, and it will be stored in this variable. Okay, now you can use this variable in the rest of your program or display it to the user again, or manipulate it in any way that you want. Okay, now comes the second most important point. This was the first important point, and now the second most important point about the input function is the optional argument that is provided by the Python language. So whenever you have to ask the user for any kind of information, data, or any kind of input, you can first tell the user that you can just give a statement on the screen telling or informing the user that what kind of input it is expected, or what the user should enter. Suppose you have a program that expects that the user will enter his or her age, so you can display a statement saying please enter your age, or similarly please enter your name, as I have specified in this case. Okay, so this optional argument is called the prompt statement. What do we mean by the prompt statement? This particular statement will inform the user what kind of input is expected in that case. Okay, so you may specify this statement. If you have specified this statement between the brackets of the input function, that means you have specified it as an argument to the input function, then this particular statement, the prompt statement, will be displayed on the screen, and then below that statement there would be a cursor. Okay, otherwise if you have not specified the prompt statement, then you will directly see a cursor bringing on the screen on the where the user will be expected to enter the input. Okay, so how do you write the prompt statement in the input function? You specify it as a string. That means you write it enclosed in quotation marks. Okay, now these can be single quotes or they can be double quotes, as we have studied earlier also. So strings can be enclosed in either form, single or double quotes. But if you want to write the prompt statement, you need to enclose it in quotation marks. Okay, so the complete syntax of the input function that is used to take some information or data from the user is: on the left hand side of the assignment operator, you first provide the variable in which you would be storing the information that you want the user to enter. Because if you are not storing that information, then there is no point of taking any kind of input. Because if you take an input, you generally use that input in your program. If you have taken the name of the user, you generally either print it again, or you append it, concatenate it in another statement and give as a response to the user, and so on. Or either use it in some calculation if it is a numeric value. So generally it is expected that whatever input you are taking from the user, you would be storing it in a variable on that is specified. The variable name is specified on the left hand side of the assignment operator, and on the right hand side you write the input function with an optional argument, the prompt statement. Okay, now quickly I'll go through what actually happens whenever you write an input function in your program. So if the input function contains a prompt statement, then firstly on the screen that prompt statement would be displayed. Okay, now then if the prompt statement has been displayed, after the prompt statement you'll see a cursor. The cursor basically shows a blinking line, a thin line blinking, or a kind of underscore that basically continuously blinks, and it expects the user to enter some data. Now user can enter the data, and as long as user is uh, uh, typing the data from the keyboard, the entire data will be accepted by the input statement, input function. And as soon as the user presses the enter key on the keyboard, this particular input function will terminate. That means after pressing the enter key, no further input will be taken from the user side. Okay, and everything, all the input and information data that was provided before pressing the enter key, whatever was typed by the user using the keyboard, will be stored in the variable that was present on the left hand side of the assignment operator. And then you can use that variable as you like, you can manipulate it and so on. Okay, so you must remember that pressing the enter key will terminate the acceptance of any further input. Okay, so for example, in your NCERT book, there is a very short program that we can look into to enhance our understanding of the input function. So this is a particular statement in which this is a variable name, f name, this is the input function, and this is the prompt statement, enter your first name. Okay, so when you type in this particular command in your program, what will be displayed on the screen? The prompt statement is displayed first, and then what will happen? See, as soon as you type in this, there will be a cursor, and once the user types in the input, the user has typed in the input Arnab, then what will happen? If you have another input statement by the name of age, input statement, another statement specifying the input function which has a variable named age on the left hand side, then what will happen? Again, the prompt statement that is specified by this input function will be first displayed, and the user will enter the input, and when you see what is the type of input that has been accepted by the input function, you will see that the type is string. Please note that in this particular case, though the user has entered an integer, okay, the data type of this value is integer, it is a number, but still when you check what is the data type of the data that is stored in this variable age, you will get that it is a string. So you cannot directly manipulate it, you will have to first convert it into an integer or the kind that you want to use in your program. Okay, now quickly coming to the second type of function, the print function in Python. So in Python, if you have to display any kind of statement, any kind of information to the user, you generally use the print function. Now print function displays the output on the screen, and one important thing that you must remember here is that whatever argument that you provide to the print function, if it is executable, or if the argument that is specified between the brackets of the print function can be evaluated, if it is an expression which can be evaluated to a value, then first that expression will be evaluated, its final value will be calculated, and only the final calculated value that has been achieved, that has been obtained after evaluation, will be printed on the screen. So the print function can directly print a particular statement if it does not require any kind of calculation or evaluation. Otherwise, what it does, it has the functionality of first evaluating any kind of expression and then displaying that expression or statement on the screen. So we'll see an example of this very soon. Now the second most important thing about the print statement is that if you have to print one value, you can directly write it among between the round brackets of the print statement. Now what if you have to print more than one value? If you have to print more than one value, then you separate the different values with a comma, and you write these particular values, comma separated values, inside the round brackets of the print statement. Okay, now there are two options, there are two optional arguments known as SEP, which stands for separator, and END, which stands for end of the print statement. Okay, so what do these actually mean? When you have multiple arguments in your print statement, then these values, they must be separated by some particular separator among them. That means either these values, by default the value of this SEP parameter is space. That means when you specify multiple values to be printed in the print statement, those values will be by default separated by a space between them. Okay, so you can print any kind of character, integer or string, but whatever the separator is, all those values will be separated by a separator. Okay, now for a separator also, you can use any kind of symbol, any kind of integer, any kind of string, alphabet, character, anything. It is not compulsory that you will use the default value space. So if you want that your different arguments that you have given to the print statement to be displayed on the screen have to be separated using the @ symbol, then you provide separator equal to single quotes @. So when you do that, the values will be printed separated by a @ symbol. Okay, so if you say print 2, 3, 4, okay, I'll write it again. So if you say print 2, 3, 4, SEP equal to @, then the output would be 2@3@4. Okay. So now coming to the second argument, the third argument and the second optional argument of the print statement is the end of the print statement. Again, this is an optional argument and it specifies what will be present at the end of the print statement. So once you have printed all the values using the separator that has been defined, either the default separator, that is the space, or the user defined separator, then what will come at the end of the print statement? By default, the value of this argument, this parameter, is /n. That means the new line character is specified as the default value. So whenever you type a print statement, you'll always see that the cursor automatically jumps to the next line, and any statements that are printed from the next line. This happens because the default argument or the default value of the end parameter is the new line character, and whenever all the values of the print statement are printed, the next line, the next print statement or the next statement on the screen would be displayed from a new line. Okay. So the SEP value, this particular argument tells you how to separate different multiple values that you want to print, and this particular argument tells you how to end the print line. If you want any particular you want your print statement to end with an exclamation mark, so you can add this particular exclamation mark in this end argument of the print statement, and your particular print statement would end with an exclamation mark. Okay, so that is how it is. Coming to a very quick explanation of the examples that are present in your book for the print statement. So in this case, you have a print statement that has the string value hello to be printed inside it. So you can directly print hello here. Okay, so you must remember, if you directly write a print statement without giving any value here, then what would happen? See, giving a value is not compulsory. If you do not give a value here, see, there is no need of a separator in this case because you haven't specified a value. The only argument that will work here is the end argument. If you haven't changed the end argument also, in this case it will use the default end argument, that is the new line, and what it will do is it will add a new line to your program. So suppose all this was getting printed here on the screen, and here there was a print statement in your program. So this will bring the cursor to the immediate next line. It will execute the end argument of the print statement without printing any value, without printing any separator, because separator works only when there are values, but the end argument will work irrespective of the values, whether they are present or not. Okay, so coming to the second example, the second example says print 10 into 2.5. As I mentioned that the expression would be first evaluated. So this particular expression evaluates to 25 and this 25.0, and this would be displayed on the screen. This expression will not be displayed. The value, the evaluated value, the value of this expression will be displayed on the screen by the print statement. Now we have print I plus love plus my plus country. Now this is a concatenation operator which is joining all these strings together. In this case, the expression will evaluate first. The result of evaluation will be one string containing the terms I love my country, and there is no space here because this entire thing has evaluated to a single value. These are not multiple values. evaluation of value happens first, and then if there are multiple values, then the separator works. Okay, so there, even if the default separator is space in this case, but the value, this value that is present here is only one value, and that is the string I love my country. Okay, this is one particular string, so this is very important. These little things are very important here. Now in this case there are multiple string. I am 16 years old, so there are multiple values. This is the first value, this is the second value, this is the third value. So the default separator is space, and that is why there is space between these values. This space is there because it was already present in the third value. Okay, so this was all about input and output functions in Python. I hope you have understood the video. Please press the like button if you understood this video, and let us know which topics you would like to study in future. Thank you for watching. Till we meet next, mind your exam.